Hello, hello. Good evening. Buenas noches. Hope everyone is doing well. Feliz jueves. My name is Ivan Salinas. I'm programs manager here at Beyond Baroque. Want to welcome you all to the Wanda Coleman Theater at Beyond Baroque. And for all those joining us virtually, hello. Um, Want to start by acknowledging the land we are standing on. Beyond Baroque is in unceded territory. We stand in Tongva, Chumash territory, and we recognize that the indigenous communities of this land are the original stewards of what we know as Venice. But we are an organization that stands against genocide and are committed to uplift the stories of indigenous communities, their cultures, and their presence with us. Especially this time of year, we are opening the portal to our ancestors. We just celebrated Dia de Muertos, but this is, a community ritual and community gathering that should be with us year round. But it's very special that in the gallery we are having the work of a photographer, Joan Ganny. She photographed Charles Bukowski over a period of 2 years in the 1970s, and the current exhibition is East of Western. These are intimate portraits of Bukowski that have never been seen before, and yeah, they were taken over a period of 2 years. So we have some photos right here in the lobby, and the rest are upstairs in the Mike Kelly Gallery. So you can check them out after the reading, um, and maybe even purchase a print. Who knows? But yeah, we have that currently up in our space, and coming up, we are having a fundraiser for Beyond Baroque. Given all the funding cuts that we've had this year, we've had to shift gears a little bit and are hosting a few fundraisers. So if you are willing to support, this Sunday we are having a sort of dinner and in a more private residence here in Venice, and we'll feature readings. We'll have Jessica Abugatas reading with us, Sofia Hilo, and J. Ryan Straddle. And the purpose of the dinner is also, of course, to fundraise, but we'll be having a set of Palestinian dishes in the main course. We'll be having a pairing it with wines as well, and being in community to support this the space that has been around now for 57 years. And we plan to be here for a whole other century. So it will be all thanks to your support. Um, yeah. Um, I do also want to say that on November 15th, we're having our poetry marathon fundraiser, and there's going to be over 75 poets in the space. It's a marathon reading, and it's going from 12 to 9 p.m., November 15th. And with that, there's also going to be a free book fair in our back garden, and we'll also be having an open mic. So it's a full day of activities, and if you cannot come and purchase a ticket, you can still donate through our website, and anytime you are welcome to purchase a book in the bookstore. Tonight, we actually have a beautiful set of authors that are joining us, and it's great to welcome back Briana Muñoz after hosting her for the first time here with the Flower Song Press crew. So now we're with El Martillo Press, and in company with beautiful poets Sehba, Aruni, and Natalie. So thank you all for being here. But first, before we get into some poetry, so you can see there's a pop-up art exhibition around us, and we'd like to welcome the visual artist that who's the main photographer of this beautiful artwork. So just so you know a little bit about Cherille Williams, Navajo Diné artist from Wingate, New Mexico, who works with photography. Cherille's art focuses on narratives, identity, childhood trauma, self worth, and her family's cultural history in New Mexico. In addition, her work strives to show the unseen beauty of the place and highlights cultural landmarks that connect her native roots to New Mexico. Cheryl's interest in photographing her mother also helped her discover a passion for celebrating the power of beauty, aligning, um, sorry, so for celebrating the power and beauty of aging with time, while highlighting the issues that some elders face, such as dealing with trauma and helping to share their stories through photography. So if we could give her a round of applause to welcome her to the stage and say a few words about the artwork.
Yate, my name is Cherille Williams. I'm just going to introduce myself traditionally. Might mess up just a bit, but my name is Cherille Williams Yanisha, or Cherille Williams Yanisha Torajini Bashishin, Torajini Hosoa, Nishne Toiglini Bashishin, Totsune Dashanella, Torajini Dashache. So I was born of the Meadow people on my mother's side, and from her father, Bitterwater, and then my father was born of the water flows together and of the big water. Just wanted to introduce myself in a cultural narrative, but also the fact that I was raised by my mother, Francine C. Williams, and my father, Albert Williams. Just wanted to encourage all that and more, because I just wanted to acknowledge the people that have brought me into this world and have continued to raise me from the other side, as well as the support of my community in Gallup, New Mexico, with a whole bunch of other artists from my community, from Art 123 Gallery, as well as my brother, Scott L. Williams. So I want to encourage all those people to be with me in this moment. So a little bit about my work. I got to work with Briana and meet with her through a friend of mine, Cam, who brought together photographers and artists, or poets, to collaborate and share their work together, which is one of the pieces that I brought with me from New Mexico, which was a powerful poem that expresses this body. Is the poem that Briana created, and I displayed one of my photos, and I thought that it was just a powerful piece that needed to be brought here and to acknowledge the connection that first brought us together. And as well as a couple of pieces that were brought together for her wonderful book. Now you can order or buy her second book, Matriarchy. Just want to do a quick plug about that as well. So I got to photograph her and her wonderful daughter, Sequoia, in Albuquerque when they used to live there. And I want to acknowledge the photo that Briana shared on social media as well, and as well as keep it here and acknowledge the connection that she has with her daughter, and with also the fact that she was such a powerful presence in New Mexico and in Albuquerque as well, especially with how she was able to connect and be a part of the community out there through her dancing and her poetry, and getting to connect with all the local people as well. I wanted to highlight that, as well as her connection to Los Angeles, and the fact that she was able to bring both together is amazing and wonderful. Then I also want to acknowledge my mother again, Francine Williams, and her hands that have brought and ushered so many wonderful and incredible art through her fiber work and her crochet and all of her lessons that she learned from her mother. Sadly, she is no longer with us, which I continue to wanted to honor her as best as I can through my photography and through collaborative projects that I have of cyanotype work with using her crocheted pieces. So this piece particularly was created with her in mind, and I wanted to highlight the mother and how how the hands are the main source of connection that we have with each other, and the fact that it's something that we might take for granted, the touch, the feel, and the connection to other people. It's the first thing that we shake hands when we greet people, and we hug people with our arms in our hands, and we have that touch and that feel. And I want to showcase that, and the fact that a lot of people want to hide their hands when they get older, I've noticed, and the fact that aging is not a curse, especially in this time and age where it's just kind of people don't get to live that long. She got to live to be 98. So the fact that she got to live so many lives and so many people got to be touched by her, and she was everybody's mother. So I wanted to acknowledge the fact that those hands have fought and protect and encourage so many people before. So I wanted to do that for her in this piece. Acknowledging the fact that I am culturally, privileged to be a part of First Nations people, being Diné and Navajo, if you will. I want to bring this piece into this wonderful space, which is called What is Freedom? And the piece was showcased and specifically created to premiere with a wonderful Gallup artist, Jerry Brown, who created a show called a social justice show called The Good, the Bad, the Unseen. And the fact that I wanted to showcase what is freedom, it's titled. It's pretty much highlighting the fact that, sorry, I'm going on so long, but I want to encourage people to know that the history of boarding schools is not exactly the best. In terms of colonization and the fact that it was initially brought to culturally destroy and decimate in a sense. But the school that I went to, Fort Wingate, it was a completely different time where it was about cultural revitalization. So flipping it on its head, and the fact that so many people that went to school there had experienced so many different lives, so many different experiences. But when I was going there, it was vastly different. And the fact that it was in culturally enrichment, and the fact that it was just this place where so many ceremonies, so many practices, so many powwows, so many language and cultural games were played, and the fact that I was privileged enough to live in a time where that is something that I can connect with so easily, because so many people now are fighting for that language to survive alongside so many other tribes. So I want to highlight that in my art, and also the fact that we live in a time where so many people are sacrificing and creating a space where it's just like a time where we need to know what is freedom and what we're willing to sacrifice and what we're continuing to sacrifice in order to carry on the history of this country, and the fact that so many people have sacrificed so much to have our freedom, and whether or not we're willing to follow in their footsteps and continue to fight for our freedom, and the sacrifices that we need to make for children like Sequoia for the next place in our lives. So those are a few of the pieces that I want to bring here and highlight as well. So Thank you so much for listening me to babble on for the last couple of minutes. Thank you. Truly.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. And we also have more of her photography, cyanotypes out in the lobby that you can check out after the reading. And welcome to LA, to Tongva, Chumash land. To start off with the readings, let's welcome up Sehba. Let's start with Aruni Wijesinghe. Lives and writes in Southern California and is often found shelving books in the local library. A project manager, ESL teacher, former sous chef, and an occasional belly dance instructor, she's a multiple Pushcart Prize and Best of the Net nominee. Her published collections include To Revere Place, The Litany of Missing and Bedside Manners, The Undulating Line, and God is a River Running Down My Palm. Let's give a round of applause to Aruni Wijesinghe.
Too short. Thanks, Yvonne, and congratulations, Amiga. I'm so proud of you, just putting so much good energy and good work into the world. I'm going to read a couple of poems about the women in my life, the women who raised me. It all comes back to a woman in the end. Engagement party. Auntie Ronnie is a nurse at Bronx, Lebanon with Ammi and Thati, another foreigner recruited by the hospital. When her marriage to a physician in India is arranged, she hosts a party to celebrate her engagement. She pins a snapshot of the groom who becomes her Uncle Rana to the shoulder of her sari where the jeweled pallu falls away. She leaves New York a bride and returns a new wife. Her wedding bangles tinkle with each gesture, the sindoor in her hair vivid as blood. The rhythm of their family pulses in the hallways, perfume of cumin and coriander seeping from under the door. Like Ammi and Thati, they add American children to the nation and add South Asian values to the children so that we all hold two countries. Eventually, they move to Abilene, Texas, become Kodak snapshots tucked into yearly holiday cards. But on the night of the engagement party, she is beautiful Auntie Ronnie, laughing, full of hope for the future she will fly to India to meet. So I was lucky enough to be raised by three parents, my mother and father and my achi, which means grandmother in Sinhala. She moved to the U.S. because I was born. She arrived 4 days after my birth, and she dreamed all of this poetry stuff for me before I ever even considered this as an option. So unfortunately, she passed before I had a book published, but I'd like to think she knows. And because we just had Dia de los Muertos and the world is still covered in Cempasúchil, I'm going to read my marigold poem. Next year's marigolds. Before we dig up the withered plants at the end of summer, Achi will break off the last dried blooms, her hands methodical as she separates blossoms from their stems. In the spring, she will sprinkle tiny matchsticks of orange and yellow into the fallow soil. But for now, Nangi, Mully, and I plant marigolds in the beds on either side of the sloped driveway, sprinkling seeds from envelopes printed with drawings of imminent buds. Pom-poms flame in the waning summer, illuminate the path we wheel our bikes at the end of each day. As Indian summer gives way to autumn, the flowers dry. Faded blossoms turn brown and papery, rustle as we walk home from the bus stop. Achi deadheads the plants, catches dying petals and stamen in the blue aerogram stamped from Sri Lanka. She tucks the future into a kitchen drawer, guards it until next spring, when she will turn the earth gently, let the past fall from her fingertips, seed a new year. I was telling Yvonne earlier that the smell of marigolds reminds me of death and weddings. And there are two cultures that I'm not part of, but that I'm closely tied to, so it all comes in a circle. 4711. Every childhood fever summons Achi's bottle of 4711, known to us as eau de cologne, and a worn handkerchief. Eau de cologne is the panacea for every ill. Headache to nightmare, bump to bruise, every pain wiped away with a swipe of Achi's hanky. Nungi, Mully, and I connect the tang of cologne with delirium and the waking from it. The turquoise and gold label a charm against catastrophe. Danger evaporates when Achi lays a damp cloth across our skins, spiriting malady from our limbs, restoring health. Our resilience is perfumed with aqua mirabilis. A gin martini evokes the glass bottle on the nightstand, 2 weeks of chicken pox, and Achi's fragrant hands lifting me from disaster. Growing up, it's like, failed a test, put eau de cologne on your head. Broke your arm, put eau de cologne on your arm. It cures everything. I still put it on if I'm feeling ill. I'm going to end with, this is a poem from a book I put together after I had back surgery. The book is called Bedside Manners. This is Madonna and Child. When the vertigo hits, the world won't stop swimming. Furniture careens around the bedroom, lamps melt sideways, pastel bedsheets undulate in a lava field of percale flowers. I can't open my eyes, can't keep the world pinned in place without my body erupting in rivers of piss and shit and puke. My mother steadies a plastic trash bin under my chin, coos endearments. She brushes drool-wet hair back from my face, tells me not to cry. I'm 53 years old, post-op from back surgery, and my Judas body has launched another attack. I can't stop weeping, can't stem the hysteria. She wipes snot with the sleeve of her sweater, nonplussed. She supports me during my stagger to the bathroom, juggling my walker and trash bin. An inch of vomit sloshes like an unholy tide. I sob as she helps me out of my soiled nightshirt. My cotton panties are stained beyond recovery. In the cool of the shower, she washes my hair with lavender shampoo, combing out tangles. She scrubs my back, careful to avoid my still raw scar, rinses the dread from my body. Never flinches when I throw up again, just starts the process over. While she swaddles me in terry cloth, I ask her how she can stand it, this messy love. She says, I did this for you when you were an infant. You're my baby. Nothing will ever change that.
Yeah, one more time for Aruni. Thank you. We have To Revere Place in the bookstore for all those curious to read more of her poetry. Next up, we have the Pomona Poet Laureate, Natalie Sierra, poet, author, and editor from Pomona, California. Her work has been featured in West Wind, the LA Times, and more. Natalie is the author of the poetry collection Medusa, of which her poem Medusa is My Sister was nominated for a Pushcart Prize. Natalie followed that with her debut novel Charlie Forever and Ever, and a second novel, Beyond the Grace of God. Beside her work as an author and editor, Natalie is the president of Café con Libros Press, a nonprofit bookstore in downtown Pomona, which is a beautiful space. Got the chance to read there. And if you are in Pomona, definitely visit. Let's welcome Natalie Sierra to Beyond Baroque.
Thanks, everyone. I am honored to be here. This is my first time here, so I'm very excited. Thank you to Beyond Baroque, to Yvonne, to Briana for inviting me here. Yeah, let's go. Okay, this is called September's Ending. I am a woman made of lightning, bolting through a late summer sky, a parliament clamped between my teeth, hot asphalt under my feet, a thunderhead of gentle abysses cradled to my chest. That summer, the static scent of electricity followed me wherever I went. Returning rain, warm as tears, gently tapping my shoulder as a passenger on a train. Humblest apologies. I was just passing through. Thank you. A couple years ago, I get on these tangents about learning different things about history, and I learned that when ancient people were trying to describe the worlds around them, one of the words that they came up with is red. So red was like one of the first words, not red as we know it now, but in the ancient version of red. So that just got me thinking about how old just language is and how it just keeps getting passed down. So anyway, this is called The Third Oldest Color is Red. Blood, roses, fire. Their daughters' hands against the sky at dawn. People created language to name a world they've since left behind. The remnants of ancient life are braided into your being, erupting from the center of your chest, your beating heart surprising you with song. Thank you. My Lazarus. The November sun beats down, warm and smooth as your voice in my ear, whispering how you found me. You'd just wrapped your car around a telephone pole and wandered back into the bar you'd been kicked out of moments before. I followed you out as the bouncers carried you, arms outstretched, blood still dripping down your neck, touching your chest, a beating heart, my fingers, and a crucifix. Miraculous encounters, to live and be revived by love. I laughed before hanging up. You're not my Lazarus anymore. Thank you. And this is my last poem. It is called July 14th Confession. I confess this body is made of stars, that my soul is a cat-curious feathered thing, that the blood that weeps from my body resembles an alligator with wings, that my ovaries are two ferns unfurling, cradled deep in a forest of ancient beings, that my heart mirrors yours, a weight, a muscle. It is ripe, it is tender, it is ordinary. It is a jackhammer in a city of summer, a map that beats along undiscovered paths. I confess that my body is a compass of light, and my summer is as fragile as a dragonfly resting in the bougainvillea framing a window. But oh, look at its shimmer in the pink and gold of a dwindling sunset as the neighbors' children play in the spray of water gurgling from a broken water hose. It will disappear, as I will disappear, as we will become a morning, a dawn, a twilight, a purple, beating, luscious, smiling night. I confess, I confess. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Natalie. And congrats also on being Pomona Poet Laureate on your new collection. And hope to see you again here at Beyond Baroque. Our next poet is also a poet laureate, and that is Sehba Sarwar. Her work tackles displacement, migration, and women's issues. A second edition of her novel, Black Wings, was published by Valise Books, while her essays, short stories, and poems have appeared in Asia Magazine of Asian Literature, New York Times, Kalalu, and elsewhere. Her short stories are anthologized by Feminist Press, Akashic Books, and HarperCollins India. Born and raised in an activist home in Karachi, Pakistan, Sarwar is the recipient of Artist Awards through the Academy of American Poets and the LA's Department of Cultural Affairs. Her papers are archived at the University of Houston, and she serves as the Altadena Co-Poet Laureate. Let's give a round of applause to Sehba Sarwar.
Thank you, Ivan, and thank you, everybody. And thank you so much for inviting me. I'm just so excited about your book and just to be part of this book launch, Briana. It's beautiful, and I cannot wait to hear it and actually read it because I have my copy. And I encourage everybody to get theirs. I'm going to read a few poems. My poems, many of you know my work. I always write about borders, but because this book is Matriarchy, we're talking about women, and that's also what I write about. So today I'm going to share a few poems about my family and also my daughter, my source of inspiration, and we have one right here. Jamshed Road. Don't lean against the powdered walls, warns Ammi, the white walls of our house on Jamshed Road. Its walls as thick as my 10-year-old arm. Our house, a 3-layered ship with scimitar balconies and banana, mango, and almond trees, weighted by their jewels, orange, yellow, and green. Roots burrow beneath the driveway, cracks crawl over cement like giant ink stains. Upstairs, beneath the white, hot sun, our flat roof. A ship deck steadying us in the tossing sea. Deep below, buried in the dusty street, steel milk pails clang and radio tunes from old Indian films flute the edges of our eardrums. We fly kites that stretch into the white sky. The street boys' glass-tipped string cuts our square, releasing it into the bleached air. Up here, like the newly unfettered kite, we are safe, we are free. Thank you. Thank you. This next poem is dedicated to my grandmother, Dadi Amma. Tea time with Dadi Amma. Her eyes, warm like the afternoon sun, float behind the gold rim of her magnified eyeglasses. Her laugh, curly like her hair, tinkles, bounces against white walls. Her kitchen is a polished rock like the night sky. No cabinets or closed doors. Open shelves lined with newspaper, never ragged at the edges. All the cousins gather on her wooden takhat, cross-legged, ready for our ritual. Afternoon tea with grilled toast, homemade jam, and dripping butter. We fold, dunk into our teacups and shove bites into our mouths. She throws back her head and laughs, joyous to savor tea with us, her grandchildren. Thank you. And the next two poems are dedicated to my daughter. This one is called Sewing Machine, Imprisonment/Liberation. Outside, 25 boys in gray pants, white collar shirts, white socks thrust into tennis shoes, aka sneakers. At our Karachi school, they choose between running, basketball, or boxing in the ring. Inside, 10 girls in gray skirts, white collar shirts, knee-length white socks, and polished black shoes, present for sewing class, to learn hemming, tacking, and a sewing machine. We thread, take turns to pedal, till Mina tricks our teacher, locks her out, and we play mystery games. In the evenings, our grandmothers, mothers, and aunts pedal machines that click, save them tailor trips to Bori Bazaar. They design our clothes, our style, a ritual repeated by Ammi in Houston with a sewing machine, a silver sleek to stitch for my baby daughter. A full circle. On college summer break, she finds the stored gadget, still a mystery to me. She teaches herself to thread, press the pedal, navigate the machine, to style as she wishes. The click and whir is liberation she discovers. Thank you. And my last poem is also dedicated to my daughter. It's called On the Front Line. On the front line, she calls me from her campus, 3,000 miles from Los Angeles. Sorry I've been gone. I'm in an encampment. We will get our demands heard and met. My daughter sends me photos, smiling face beneath a college cap, borrowed from a friend. It's cold. I don't have a tent. She is asleep as videos from campuses from one coastline to the other ricochet off my phone. I watch in real time. US students beaten, arrested, suspended, expelled, deported. In Gaza, universities, schools, hospitals, flattened. No education, no food, no medicine. Deaths, uncounted. A genocide. Around the globe, students on the front line, and history tells us they will force change. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sehba. And let's give it up to all our co-features of the evening. Round of applause for them, please. Thank you. Yeah, we're celebrating Briana's third collection. It's an honor to welcome her to another book launch. And you know, every book is also like a baby, I think. And you know, I'm glad that we're celebrating all kinds of new life into this world. So let's hear from our star poet. Briana is a poet, indigenous Mexica danzante, and mother, founder of Poetry as Harm Reduction. She's the author of 3 books of poetry, including Matriarchy. Her work has been published in the anthologies How to Reimagine America, Beat Not Beat, Somos Chicanas, and several other publications. She currently lives in Southern California with her partner and child. So I think Briana will be reading a few poems featuring Sequoia. All right, welcome her to the stage.
Yeah, it's super good to be here today. Thank you guys for coming. And if anybody is joining on the live stream, thank you for tuning in. I just want to thank Yvonne and the entire Beyond Baroque team. I feel like Beyond Baroque is like a spiritual entity. I feel like these walls just kind of hold like memory and history and poetry. And it's just very special to be launching my book here in this space. I I want to thank, the poets and who made it here today, and Cherille for coming all the way out here from Fort Wingate, New Mexico. We're really lucky to have you here, and I know that travel isn't, just around the corner. So thank you. I will continue my gratitude after a poem. Otherwise, I'm just going to be talking and talking. This is titled Headline, Nearly a Dozen Homeless Encampments Found in the Bosque. Let the fallen branches chopped down by the beavers serve as shelter, and the river flowing alongside your abode, let it serve as temporary comforts. Your tired body, let it rest under the cottonwood relatives and the hundreds of crows that caw. Let their song be your solace. Your existence doesn't threaten Mother Earth here as it does concerned citizens who clutch their handbags as they walk over your makeshift housing. Let the bosque be what society's failings couldn't be for you. Thank you. I have read this poem once before, and I definitely barely made it through it. So just a content warning. It talks about the genocide that's happening before our eyes. For Hind Rajab and, at the time, 13,000 other Palestinian, can't even read the title, Palestinian children and young teens that have been killed by Israeli fire. As my baby sleeps, I think of the genocide that rages like wildfire across the ocean. The wildfire that is ethnic cleansing carried out by the IDF. The colonization that is warfare. The warfare that exists like a black plague. The plague that is the military-industrial complex, that is the USA, greed, Lockheed Martin, that is Raytheon, greed, that is Airbus. Meanwhile, small babies sleep lulled by white noise machines, swaddled in bassinets, powered to vibrate and rock automatically in other realities. To be born in Palestine is to enter a fight for survival, as breastfeeding mothers require oxytocin to produce breast milk and water and food. When we shop at the market for infant formula, do those sales taxes fund the bombing of labor and delivery units in Gaza? Is it the ancient document that is sermoned every Sunday that allows children to be buried by rubble? Mothers deserve to see their children grow, seed to soil to spring to empowered youth. Flowers cannot grow in active combat zones. I want to tell my daughter that we are not so special. We were just born on this side of the empire. Instead, I tell my daughter that our poems have the power to burn it all to the ground. Instead, I tell my daughter that we are all sacred, we are all kin, we are all relatives some time ago born into innocence, but today dragged into injustice. As I watch my baby sleep, I pray for all the people of Gaza. Thank you. Continuing my gratitude, I want to thank El Martillo Press. David Romero is here in the audience. When I was trying to figure out where I wanted this to go, this manuscript. It felt like a pretty easy decision to go with El Martillo Press, the work that we've done in the past, and just all the great things that they're doing, lifting up political voices. And then just a fun fact that Dave, when we moved back to California, David was one of like 2 people that volunteered us offload our U-Haul while he was injured and didn't tell us. That's the publisher that I have. More thank yous later. When I was trying to figure out what I wanted to read, I kind of just chose a bunch of stuff I never read. So this is titled Modern Mexica Prayer. Brown feet dance to the rhythm of sacred prayer against black asphalt paved atop the soil that our ancestors tended to. During ceremony, guerreros take selfies with iPhones near the momochli. I question internally whether this takes away from the sacredness of the moment. The Mexica use their tecocolis to summon the people. Modern Mexica use Canva y el Facebook to invite danzantes from every part of so-called North America to their ceremonies. Here they gather to celebrate the solstices and equinox, or the New Year, or Dia de los Muertos. Regalias handmade, huehuets wrapped with freshly skinned hides, feathers harvested locally or imported, but the prayers hold the same power as since the beginning. Thank you. I also want to thank my mother and then my daughter, but I also want to thank my partner. Just putting together this book, when Johnny found out that I approved the proof without consulting with him, he was like, he couldn't believe me. But really, because he's like read this manuscript so many times, and all of the conversations that exist in this book are really like conversations that we have daily. So he really is a big help in this process, and my partner in literally every sense of that word. This is titled Sex as Ceremony. And apologies, Johnny's mom, if you're tuning in. In the quiet of the night, the New Mexican moon shines through the skylit window of our adobe casita, illuminates every curve of your body. We hear only an occasional car drive past or our puppy dog snoring. The religious statues in our courtyard, left by the previous tenants, bless the ceremony of our bodies. Acrobatic performance. My 2 hands lift your chin up to kiss me, maybe for the first time today. You bite me accidentally too aggressively, carried away by the same energy that makes our bed sheets glow and shocks us from static electricity. I flinch, but I'm distracted quickly from any discomfort as your fingers reach inward and upward. It's late autumn, and the firewood burning from our neighbor's fireplace penetrates our home. From the lack of insulation, the smoke travels skyward, delivering our messages to Coyoxauhqui. We are only but 2 people in this tiny footprint of a vast map behind walls of an unassuming home, practicing the oldest magic known to man. Thank you. I think I'll just read one more, and then we can continue this party outside. This is titled, "You Help Me Bathe After My Water Breaks." You help me bathe after my water breaks, and I've been laboring for more than 24 hours. There is something so sacred about this moment. You take a washcloth and clean me as we stand over the tub. You move up and down my legs, wiping away the river residue of amniotic fluid, sac that has served as protection for our child during these past 9 months. It reminds me of Harjo's Washing My Mother's Body poem. The water element, this baptism into parenthood. That's it. I told you I've never read these out loud. Thank you so much again for being here. Thank you, Beyond Baroque. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah, let's hear it for all our poets and for Briana. Thank you. Yes. For Sequoia, for Johnny, for the Beyond Baroque team, with Eric helping us out with sound and video as always. We have a bit of a reception out in the lobby, and I'm sure that Briana, Natalie, Sehba, Aruni would be more than happy to sign a copy of their books for you. So thank you all for spending your Thursday evening with us. And I hear that the party continues at Midnight Books tomorrow with an awesome lineup as well. And yeah, hope to see you all again here at Beyond Baroque sometime. Thank you. Thank you. And for sure, let's take a group photo with all the poets, okay? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it would be cool with the artwork here.